Hey everyone, it's Carlos, also known as Cako, um, and I wanted to come to you guys today and do a video blog that I've been meaning to do every week. But today I'm going to do a video blog because there's something that I found out about today that really has been bothering me, and it's been, you know, disturbing my spirit, and I need to talk about it and get it off my chest. Um, Now, for legal purposes, I'm not going to say any names, and I'm going to release any information that could be used later on. But I'm just going to keep it pretty much general from what with this because it is kind of case sensitive. But um, about 2 3 months ago, this guy that works with me was uh, his daughter died. Now, when we heard about the death of his little baby, and I mean, this baby was 2 years old. It was his daughter was 2 years old, and she died. It's really sad to hear of when something like this happens to somebody. But basically, this is what happened. This guy works with me, and again, I'm not gonna say where I work or anything like that either, because it could be used negatively. But you guys already know where I work, and if you don't know, figure it out. But the baby apparently had a brain tumor. She had some sort of cancer, and that developed a brain tumor, and I guess a brain tumor caused some kind of brain malfunction, and the baby ended up dying um, from that. Now I say that because this is what we were told. That's the reason that we were told she died, because she had a brain tumor. Now, when we heard about this, I mean, obviously, when something like this happens to somebody you work with, you want to, be there for them. So, as a store, we went ahead and, collected some money so that we can give to him as a token of our, as a token for him, as a gift to help him with the funeral costs. And we gave him money, and he took the time off and everything and went off and, you know, buried his daughter. Today, now flash forward to today, I'm coming into the store. I'm off, and I see that there was another, employee that works there, and he was sitting outside on his break. And I see the wife or girlfriend of this guy come up to this employee, and I overheard the conversation. It was something to the fact of that this guy went and turned himself in 2 nights or last night, turned himself in for the murder of his child. When I heard this, I'm like, what? And I keep kind of hearing what's going on, and apparently what happened was that he went and turned himself in for the murder of the child, and because the autopsy results came back and showed signs of strangulation and agitation on the baby, which means that the baby was strangled and shook to death, and that was the cause of the baby's death. It was not necessarily the cancer. What killed the baby was shaking and strangulation. So basically, this guy that I work with killed his daughter. Um, I keep hearing what's going on, and I kind of tune in. And apparently, what happened on that night that the baby died was that the baby was crying uncontrollably. What baby doesn't? And I guess this guy couldn't take it anymore, and he went and shook the baby to death. Strangled, I guess, shook her by the neck, I guess, and to shut her up, for the purposes of shutting up. Now, think about what type of force you have to apply on something when you're shaking it to death. It's like you gotta play. I mean, you're doing it with the purpose to kill that other person. It's done with a certain type of force. It's not done to shut the baby up. When a baby is crying and you can't stop it from crying, you do something other than you don't shake the baby to stop for it to stop crying. That's not how you do it. You give it something, hold it, rock it, give it a pacifier, give it a bottle of juice or milk, or maybe the baby's hungry, maybe the baby needs to get changed because that starts to hurt the baby once in a while. it's like really shaking the baby to death. And what's crazy about this is the fact that I work alongside this person. And all this time he knew what he had done. He comes to us and tells us that the baby died of a brain tumor, when all along he knows that he's the one that murdered his own child. And you hear about this on the news. You hear about this, and I mean, a baby dies every day. I mean, with all these people in the world, I'm sure that a baby dies every day, and unfortunately, a lot of times it is at the hands of their own parent. But it's a one thing to hear it on the news, and one thing to know the person who has done something like this, and work with the person that's done something like this. It's I don't know. I just can't believe that that this guy would have done that. It's like I can't begin to understand what was going through his head when he was doing it. And to be honest, I really don't want to understand. It's no excuse. There is no type of excuse for you doing something like that to your own child, to your own flesh and blood. It's so this is. I mean, I don't have children, so I never lost a child, obviously. I can't say that I understand the pain that the mother feels, but I can imagine the pain that she feels, and and the anger that she feels to know that her baby died at the hands of somebody that was supposed to protect her and love her. It's not a good feeling whatsoever. Now, I mean, obviously, this guy went to jail. He's in jail. He turned himself to the police, so he's in jail. It's case closed, done and over with. But it still bothers a lot of people. I mean, I'm not even close to the family. I saw this guy every day. I come in the morning at 7:30, and he's already been there for about maybe 2-3 hours. So I see him. I don't have a close relationship with him, but or the family. So I mean, if I'm bothered by it, imagine them. But I'm a strong believer that God can take care of somebody far better than we can. So leave it in God's hands. I really hope that one day this guy can come to God and ask for forgiveness. Us as humans, we're not equipped to quickly forgive somebody for something like this. It takes time, but God is a very forgiving God. And that doesn't excuse what you did, and that doesn't excuse the penalty that you're going to receive for what you did. He's still going to jail, and he might do life, and well deserved. He should do life. But I really hope that he finds God, because at this point, I mean, at any point, he's the only one that can save you. There is no hope for you unless it's through God. So same goes with same to the family. My condolences go out to you if you're watching this. Again, I can't say that I understand the pain and the anger, but I could imagine it. And I just hope that God comforts you, and that you find some type of peace and closure in God, because he's the only one that can do it. Sincerely, my condolences go out to you. But it's crazy to me, and I mean, I guess I feel so passionate about it because number one, it's a child, and number two, it's something that's happened close to me. I'm working with this guy, and he's done something like this, and I can't say that I'm totally surprised, because I mean, while working with him, I see that he didn't show any kind of remorse or grief in his face for what happened to his daughter. I mean, your child dies, you should show some type of emotion. I don't care how hard of a man you are. Your child dies. It's very bad, and you should show some type of emotion. He wasn't crying. I mean, he wasn't laughing or being so excited or happy, but at the same time, he wasn't crying, and he wasn't showing no type of sadness on his face. He was very neutral. Took the money that we gave him, took the time off, came back, and just kept doing what he do and doing him. But so I mean, that shows me right there. I'm like, why is it that you're not too sad about your daughter dying? And now I know. But I guess the guilt ate at him, and he turned himself in. So he's gonna get what he deserves. And